Happy New Year and welcome back to Escape Into a Cause. I am Stephanie Dyer and this is a podcast for those of you who want to help Central Texas, but you're also busy. Each week, I get to talk to my co-host Courtney Dickey, a woman who has balanced a demanding legal career, leadership roles in nonprofits, and a family about topics we think actually matter. And then I sit down with leaders from local nonprofits doing the work on the ground. Every January, there are two types of people. The ones setting goals and the ones just hoping someone refills their champagne before midnight. I'm a little bit more on the goal setting side of things. This year specifically, I've begun to think about how I want to show up for people, be better, more intentional. So Courtney and I talk about how we can connect and give back more, where it doesn't have to be overwhelming or perfectly planned. And we're talking about what that looks like in 2026. And one thing I've been thinking about a lot is birthdays. I've always been great at celebrating my kids. Balloons outside their doors, friends showing up, making the day feel big. But somewhere along the way, adult birthdays started to feel optional. And I remember early in my career, a colleague who refused to tell anyone what his birthday was. We would ask him, why not give your birthday? We'd love to celebrate you. His logic was simple. Everyone has one. It's not a big deal. Years later, a close friend said something similar. Birthdays aren't earned, she still tells me. However, Mother's Day, she has earned that one. So take her to the spa. Logically, I get what both my colleague and my friend are saying about birthdays, but I disagree. Even if you don't care about your birthday, a birthday is the one day a year you can look at someone and say, I'm really glad you're here, that your existence has mattered to me. I want to celebrate you. I'm so happy you were born. This is the day that celebrates your existence. And I think there's something to be said about that. Even if everyone has one, the ones that you celebrate, the ones that you say, you are special to me, or you matter to me, or I'm so happy you're here, I think that makes a difference. So I'm going to intentionally be more thoughtful around people's birthdays. And of course, kids understand this instinctively. Being celebrated matters. And I don't think we age out of that just because we've learned how to downplay it. Court is much better than I am at remembering people and making moments. So I'll be learning from her this year and I'll report back on how the birthday goal goes. Which brings me to today's conversation. I sit down with Marcus Cantu, Executive Director of Pop-Up Birthday, an organization that is built on a simple belief. Every child deserves to be celebrated on their birthday, especially children with open Child Protective Services or CPS cases who are so often overlooked. So as you ease into the new year, maybe think about how you want to show up for others. It doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes it's just remembering a date, showing up, and letting someone know they matter. I'm happy you are all here. Let's get into it. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, Stephanie.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2026.
Happy 2026. Real quick, let's talk about how things are changing this year. If listeners didn't catch the last couple episodes of last year, we did 40 interviews in 2025.
Amazing.
40 nonprofits.
We need to do our podcast wrap. Continue.
We do.
Okay, 40 interviews, 40 different nonprofits.
It's amazing. And you were here every step of the way, and I appreciate you so much because you are giving your time. It's funny, we were talking to our tax accountant, which we use the same tax accountant.
Oh, we do.
And he was like, okay, so he was going through this podcast. And he was like, okay, how much revenue do you get from this podcast? I was like, oh, no, we don't get revenue.
You're like, we actually write checks.
We write checks. We give to charities and there's no incoming revenue. And if we were to get revenue from sponsors, hello sponsors, it would go back to the charities. That's been our commitment.
And I love that.
I was trying to explain and he didn't get it, but that's okay. He was like, you're not making money? No. But I want to talk real quick about how we're changing things up. So 2026, Escape Into a Cause is doing one nonprofit interview a month. We are trying to focus more on quality of these because we were pushing out so many, 40 in a year.
That is a lot.
It was a lot, and focusing our time on spreading awareness outside of the podcast. So one of the things we want to do is get really involved with restaurants and retail, and anytime there's proceeds going to charities, highlight those businesses.
Oh, very cool. I think that's great.
And just connect in any way that if you're shopping, you're wanting to go eat, you can come to our page and you can just figure out what's around me that I can also give back and have a good meal.
Oh, love.
So trying to bake more giving back without feeling like you just have to care about the cause. Instead, you can go do what you're already going to do and feel good about it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So we're doing a lot of things. We're also going to begin actually using our Facebook community forum to hear from listeners. So we will actually start engaging our social media, which we didn't do a great job of last year. Okay.
These are great goals.
Yeah, these are fun. So these are kind of our New Year 2026 goals to expand and to differentiate a little bit. Okay. So did you do anything over the holidays?
Quick trip to Nashville, which was really fun. So we did New Year's Eve in Nashville.
How was the weather?
Cold.
Okay. I felt like Christmas time was warm everywhere.
Christmas time was warm. And then we got some cold fronts.
We were in Mexico, in Cabo.
So fun.
Yeah. Did you?
Cold, warm.
Warm. Good. Yeah. Shorts the whole time. Yeah. Did you ever watch, I think it was called Next Level. It's definitely for millennials. That was like on YouTube. I don't know. It's two guys and they talk about, did you ride the jet skis in Cabo?
Did you ride the jet
we rode
skis?
the jet skis in Cabo. Yeah. And I had to show my kids that. And I was like, okay, millennials that grew up on this YouTube video and they make a new handshake. They're like, it's time to make our handshake to the next level. But he like yells out to no one. He's like, yeah, man, I rode the jet skis in Cabo. Anyway, it was really good. It's really good. So I can finally say I rode the jet skis in Cabo. That was fun. But, you know, we're big on getting the family together and just jotting some things down that we want to achieve.
You're a good planner. You're family planners. I love that.
Yeah, I don't think they would do it without me. But
yeah, no, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I love that it is a family activity.
It is.
You know, you all don't go into your own corners.
And you get to hear what they care about.
Yeah.
And you get to hear what they're willing to care about because I kind of pushed them a little bit further.
Good.
But we just did ours last night because we were out of the country and we didn't want to do that on New Year's Eve or, you know, we were in Mexico. Did you do any New Year planning?
I mean, it was nice to get away with Ed because our kids are young, 9 and 5. And so their planning would be like, you know, more Pokemon. And so we were able to sort of say, okay, what's working and what's not working? And I think that's really helpful. And like, where do we feel full? Where do we feel empty?
Okay. So instead of goal setting, just kind of where you want to focus more energy and time.
Totally. Right. What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy?
I like that.
I know. It was good sort of relationship focus and check-in. Yeah.
You did that with Ed?
I did that with Ed in Nashville on New Year's Eve.
Oh.
It was good. It was good discussion.
Okay. Anything?
Well, and you learn things, right? Like, oh, I had no idea you really enjoyed that, or you wanted to try that, or that was bothering you.
Okay. Last night when we did it, we of course did some traditional ones like athletic goals.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's very Dyer family.
It is very Dyer family. So we use Strava, which you just got.
Now that I'm your friend on Strava.
So
I went for a run this weekend.
Good for you. I'm going to start giving you kudos. I got to start thinking about
that.
Okay. Strava, for those that don't know, it's an app where you can record your runs, track everything that you're doing. I even just sometimes just add it as a manual workout to know that I did it.
Well, and what I really appreciated, because this was my second activity on it, the statistics. It looks at how far you ran, obviously your time, and it says, okay, hey, compared to last week, which I did the same course. Here's where you were working hard. Here's what looks good. You shaved a minute off of this. Hills were a little bit more trouble for you this time. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like having a coach right with you. It was very cool.
So Strava gamifies your athletic goals. And so we did something where we talked about how many hours we want to do in working out and how many miles we want to run. So that was fun. We did reading goals, like book goals.
Are you on Goodreads?
No, and that is something I should do this year.
Yes, put that on your list.
I will.
It keeps you accountable. And there's so many of your friends on Goodreads and you get to see what they're reading. And yeah.
So as everyone's thinking about what do you want out of 2026,
Totally.
One of the things I also wanted to think about was relationships, connections, giving back, right? And so I think it's just so easy to put like fitness goals and financial goals and, you know, how many books. That seems like all very easy to track.
Very tangible.
Very tangible.
Yes.
But I don't think we usually, I mean, at least we don't in our family usually put it in how much do we want to get out of like relationships, connections, and giving back in community. And I was inspired by your junior league calling everyone for their birthday.
Oh, yay.
So you called how many people at the end?
2,300.
2,300.
Yeah.
There wasn't a day.
There was not a day
that you did not call someone to say happy birthday.
No.
Okay.
There were many days where no one answered, and so I had to send them a text. because nobody answers a strange phone call. But yes, they
Totally true.
They got a text if they didn't talk to me.
Okay. And so for those that don't know, right, Courtney, you were president
I
of Junior
was.
League, and that was your one thing that you wanted to kind of differentiate yourself
Yeah.
and show up for your
Yeah.
league, which I
Yeah.
love. This is a very minimal goal, but I just want to reach out to
Yes.
25 people outside of social media
Yes. I
and
think
make
that's
sure
fantastic.
I say happy birthday, and not just in passing verbally, but like
Yeah.
a very nice message and try to show up for them
Make
in
it
some way, because
personal.
I'm not really good at birthdays and I want to get better at that. Another one is Brett said that he wants to start doing more written thank you notes.
That's a great one.
So that's a good one.
I owe one to my parents today. I am going to write it.
Oh.
I wrote all of our thank you notes before we left for Nashville, but then my parents came after Nashville for the holidays. And so now I owe them one.
You write thank you notes for Christmas gifts?
Yes. Is that bad?
No.
I mean, I don't write them to my husband or my kids, but yeah, to anyone else.
Oh.
And I make my kids write them to the aunts and uncles and grandparents.
Oh, I'm going to have to like step my New Year's goals up.
No.
The bar is set high by Courtney. Okay. So that's why you don't have to create these goals, is because you're just doing it.
But then I have to do other goals. Like, okay, for the birthdays, that's always been important to me. And then obviously the junior league, I really had to like commit. But every Monday, because I live by tasks, I'm really trying to explore more AI solutions. In fact, some of the moms like in our area were like, let's have an AI happy hour where we all come together and we talk about the AI solutions that we're using and teach each other. Anyway, I just use tasks on my Google Calendar. And every Monday it is, whose birthday is it this week? Send a card. Now, I don't always send a card because I can't get to it, but I at least look at whose birthday it is that week and I send a message. But usually I try to send a card and a $5 Starbucks gift card.
How many of those do you give out?
Probably 35 a year.
Oh my gosh.
I
See, I'm
know.
trying to hit 25 because I've
You
never
can do
done it.
And then you start. But you are so much better at athletic goals than I am. I'm just on Strava. You've done this forever. You're totally literate. And I'm trying to figure out like, how do I drop a pin with my thumb? And you guys have financial goals. And I love that you sit with your family. Also, the kids would be involved in Where Are We Giving charitable giving this year.
That's right. Yeah.
And I love that.
And this year we didn't do it because we gave throughout the year a lot more than we did. And the boys had moments where they gave money and they had to give a percentage to charity, and they got to choose the charity then.
Okay, very cool.
So we didn't do that end of year exercise. Is there anything that you can think of that you are trying to invest more time in, whether that's community, giving back?
I know.
You give so much. That's the thing though, between you and me, is like I'm getting ramped up and I'm getting started and figuring out what giving back means for me, how I engage more, what's interesting to me, what I want to invest my time in. You've been doing it for so long. I don't think you really need to probably focus that much time.
I've been doing it for so long, but I think there's also learning to be intentional about that work. And a lot of doors open for you. And when you serve on a nonprofit board, you get the attention of other nonprofit boards, and making sure you know how to say no, or, okay, I only have so much time. Where do I want to focus those efforts? Like, I think those are the exercises. So I'm on 2 boards now.
Okay, Make-A-Wish Central Texas.
Central South Texas, because it goes all the way down to San Antonio. And then I just joined, thanks to an intro that you made, Piper. I Live Here, I Give Here's board.
Good.
I know.
And Amplify also is coming up.
I'm super pumped about that. But I'm on 2 gala committees.
Gala committees for which?
For Make-A-Wish, I'm going to do their wish night. And then Casablanca, which is coming up at the beginning of February.
I saw the
for Casa.
invitation.
Yeah.
We're not going, but it's very
fantastic.
popular.
It's one of the, I would say, benevolent galas out there. The 2 million in a night easily.
They know how to run a gala.
I know. And so we've talked about this before on this podcast too. Is that where I want to spend my time, or is it more on boards? And if I'm on a board, do I want to be like a working or just governance? Like, it's going through that exercise of like, okay, what makes me happy? Where can my skills be best utilized? And sometimes what do I say no to?
And I love that, because that's so true. For people that are more like corporate leaning, maybe they want to just sit on a board. For people who just have time that they want to go give to a very specific nonprofit, everyone has their thing and what excites them. So I rounded up some ideas if there's listeners out there that are still figuring things out and want to intentionally write it down and figure out what do they want from this year. So there's a few tips. One is pick 1 or 2 nonprofits.
Yes, that's where I am. Narrow it down.
Down. Or if you don't know that nonprofit yet, figure out what your cause is.
Yeah.
Write down the cause.
Absolutely. What are you passionate about?
That's right. And we did 40 interviews last year. So
amazing.
So great.
Love that.
40 nonprofits. Go just scroll through there.
Yep.
Or go amplifyatx.org.
Yep.
Which, again, I live here, I give here.
All the
hosts
organizations.
Amplify Austin, Amplify ATX.
Yep.
And you can go like shop for a nonprofit.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, so 2 is decide how you'll show up. Do you want to donate your money?
That's right.
Do you want to give your time?
Yep.
Do you want to sit on a board?
Do you want to share your skills? Are you looking for a network? What benefits are you trying to get from it too? Because we talked about that, right? Don't just go in thinking give. What's great is when it's a mutual relationship and you're receiving something, and whether that's just good feelings and good vibes, or it's connections, or you're learning something about development and how to make an ask. Make sure it's a mutual and symbiotic relationship.
We talked about Adam Grant's Otherish.
Yes, because I think that's what makes people stick.
That's right. It's sustainable. Yeah. And then it doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution. It just sticks. It's just part of your lifestyle.
Like genuinely enjoying it.
Exactly. Yeah. So advocate, share, attend events. There's all sorts of ways. Okay. And then the third way is make it social. So maybe decide who you want to do it with. Who are the people that you want to be around? Yeah. So maybe you go solo. You don't know anybody in Austin. That's fine. But I am really motivated to give back with my son because I get to spend time with him.
Yeah.
So say you have children that you're trying to instill values of serving their community.
Yep.
Great opportunity to socialize. So one of the things that I would actually like to do this year is do at least quarterly give blood and make it a thing with a friend.
I think it's so important. I'll go give blood with you.
It just takes a lunch break.
I know. I would love that.
Yay. Okay, you're my friend. You're making it social quarterly. That's it.
And we will hold each other accountable.
I love that. Okay. I'm really excited about that because I've been wanting to do it. And I just do things better when I find a friend. Okay, so what have we figured out? Decide which cause, limit your scope of the nonprofits.
Yep. See if you can do it with others.
See if you can do it with others.
See what your friends are doing.
And decide how y'all want to show up, right? And then set the frequency. So we just set it. We're going to donate quarterly together. The other intention I was going to make, which goes so great with this, is I told my husband I'm so bad at just working, doing the things that are right in front of me that I forget to plan lunches with friends and networking and dinners. And I just wait for invitations to come my way.
Me too. Same.
I'm trying to schedule something twice a month with people that I care about.
Great one. Oh, I love that one. That's a really good goal.
Yeah. All right. That's fun. Happy New Year. Hope you have the most wonderful 2026.
You as well, friends. Let's make it a great one.
All right. Thanks, Court.
Bye.
We'll be right back. Escape into a Cause is sponsored by Nightlight Insurance Agency. You know how a nightlight gives you comfort and peace of mind in the dark? That's exactly what Nightlight aims to do. Guide you through life's uncertainties with personalized insurance for your home, auto, business, and more. Nightlight Insurance strives to provide its clients the best coverage at the best price without sacrificing on customer service. Here's what one client had to say. Nightlight was able to lower our car insurance significantly, answered all our questions, and returned our calls promptly. Very professional, would highly recommend. So it's no surprise Nightlight has a 5-star rating on Google. Nightlight also makes this podcast possible by covering production costs so all other sponsorship dollars and gifts can go directly to nonprofits and volunteers. And as part of their mission to give back, Nightlight proudly donates $1,000 to every nonprofit we interview. If you are a sponsor interested in giving back to our podcast, please find us on social media and let us know. Nightlight is an agency focused on personalized service and giving back. See how much you could save and how good it feels to have peace of mind by visiting nightlightinsurance.com. Today, we're escaping into Pop-Up Birthday, and I have Executive Director Marcus Cantu here with me. Hi, Marcus.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You are our first interview of 2026.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Did Pop-Up Birthday have their annual campaign finishing up in December? How do y'all budget?
We did. So we do run on a calendar year. We did Giving Tuesday, which is at the beginning of December. It's a great day for people to get engaged and give back. We did our year-end ask and put out our impact report, which was really cool. Shared some stories of success and some of the stats that we have. So yeah, the community is super generous around the holidays, which is great because a lot of kids' birthdays get even more overlooked, unfortunately, around the holidays, right? Everyone's trying to plan for Christmas and how they can get that going. So we really try and put a focus on, like, there's still kids celebrating their birthday, and the community really rallied around us this year towards the end of the month. So it was really nice.
Great, because I know there's so many nonprofits and projects out there that are geared towards give these kids gifts for the holidays, right?
For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Angel trees and giving trees and all the good things, which is wonderful. But yeah, a lot of times it's okay, then these kids' birthdays, it falls on Christmas and we want to make sure they feel celebrated too.
Such a good point. And we were just talking as we were entering here that your birthday just happened, right?
It did. New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve and
Yeah.
my sister's Christmas Day. And she grew up hating it. So anyway, shout out to all of those people that had to have a birthday around the holidays. And if you had one of those, maybe even more incentive for you to donate to Pop-Up Birthday around those times.
Go Capricorns.
Yeah, go Capricorn. What do you think is the truest personality trait of a Capricorn?
Oh gosh. What I've heard is, and for me, it just really sticks, is like a go-getter. I'm always trying to like keep things in order and keep things going and keep things flowing, almost to my detriment. I'm a big planner. So in trying to make everything always perfect to a fault, it could be a good thing and a bad thing sometimes.
Yeah, that's why you're executive director. You came into the role in June, is that what you said?
Yeah, in June, I had an opportunity. I've been in the nonprofit world, since 2006, and then jumped into the foster care child welfare system in 2012 and worked with Kathy Harrelson, who ran Pop-Up previous to me. And she was ready to retire and had a grandbaby and wanted to spend more time with families. She said, hey, there's an opportunity coming up. We're going to post this. And yeah, I like working for small nonprofits. It's a small nonprofit. We're able to grow it and see how we can serve more kids. And like I said, being a Capricorn, it's like, how can we make this better and make it more efficient? And it was a cool opportunity. So I applied and went through the interview process. And yeah, I got lucky enough to be hired. So it's been a fun 6 months. Very excited to be a part of it.
Great. Well, I want to hear all about the impact and the programs that y'all are driving. I guess first off is, what is Pop-Up Birthday?
It's really simple. The idea all started with every child to be celebrated on their birthday. And so we put a lens on children that are connected to Child Protective Services and make sure that they get to experience the joy, feel seen on their birthday, and feel celebrated. So we get referrals from CPS and personalize a box and then send it out through their caseworkers to the kids so that they get to have a little small celebration and feel special on their birthday.
And what children specifically are you giving birthday boxes and gifts to?
So it's any child connected to CPS care. A lot of times you hear the word foster care, right? Which in the CPS world, Child Protective Services, I'll say CPS a lot, but it's Child Protective Services, there's tons of stages of care. And what I love about Pop-Up Birthday is we serve any stage of care, meaning there are investigation stages. Maybe sometimes the case is barely opening up. And then there's also stages of kinship care where kids are staying with a family member while mom and dad are trying to get whatever they need to get cleaned up and then hopefully be reunified. And then there is the cases where children are in foster homes waiting to be reunified or waiting to be adopted. There's children that have aged out but still get resources from CPS care when they turn 1. That's when they're eligible for their first birthday box. So we serve 1 year old all the way to 21. And so anyone really connected to CPS care, not specifically foster children, they're eligible for the program. And we'll serve anyone in Central Texas. So it's not just specific to Austin. That's majority of where the kids come from. But we go all the way up to Waco, down to San Marcos, out to Bastrop, everything in between here. Our capture area is 30 counties in Central Texas, but we try and reach as many kiddos as we can.
Great. So contacted through CPS some way and have an investigation and are in Central Texas. Just curious. So I know for me, when I was a kid, birthdays were everything, right? You couldn't go to bed the night before. There were 3 times a year, couldn't go to bed. Day before the first day of school.
Yep.
Day before Christmas, and day before you turned a different number, right?
Because birthdays are like, when you're young, that young, every year is super huge. The years are so long. I feel like now I'm older, I'm like, God, the years just fly by. When you're 5, that year feels like an eternity. A lot of build up to it for sure.
When I was young, didn't you feel like you wanted to feel a certain way
you
on
want
your
to feel
birthday?
special. And still, I think even to today, I don't celebrate as much, but it is fun when you get that text in the morning from someone that says happy birthday or a call from somebody you hadn't heard from in a while. Like, it's looking back to when you're young, it's just so special. You want everyone to know. I remember being in school, and at one of the schools I would go to, one of the elementaries, they would say all the kids' birthdays on the intercom, for the morning announcements. And that was something super special to look forward to every year. And that's what Pop-Up really wants to do, is make sure that kids don't wake up on their birthday and nobody says anything and nobody remembered, or maybe where they're placed, the foster parents didn't realize that was their birthday, because they can be placed and moved around quite a bit, unfortunately, especially if they're older. Like on average, if you're a teen and you're in foster care, I think it's 6 to 7 placements you may have been bounced around to. And you may be placed somewhere like a group home that has 20 kids that they're taking care of. And it's easy for their birthday to be overlooked.
Such a good point. And I think everyone can relate and think back. And you've probably had a birthday where you felt really special and you felt really good about that birthday. And there's been a birthday that I think everyone has probably had in their life where they felt a little disappointed. So don't let that happen to these kids.
For sure. We definitely don't want that. That's what we're trying to avoid. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, well, show up for pop-up birthday. And also just maybe like a small reminder that's even for free is find those people around you that are having their birthdays and reach out to them and make it special.
For sure. Because I don't do social media. So like everyone that I know is, oh, Facebook tells me or Instagram tells me. I'm like, I don't have that. So every time someone says it's their birthday, I'll put a little note in my phone because I'm like, let me not overlook that, or because then a couple days later you're like, shoot, it was my friend's birthday and I'm a bad friend because I didn't say happy birthday. I mean, it just goes a long way. Even if they're not like a big celebratory person, I think it's okay, I'm seeing you, I remember that it was your birthday, someone made an effort to reach out.
Good for you for staying off social media, and good for you for making people's days special, because a lot of people only know because of social media today. I think that's great. Okay, I want to get into the impact, because I know y'all are making impact with these children. What are you providing the kids? What are these boxes?
Yeah, so our mission, make sure every child feels seen and celebrated, and it dives right into our program, the Birthday Box program. It's really cool. Every box starts with a need, a read, and a wish for the kids. And so the need is typically like clothing. We see a lot of clothing needs. We see a lot of school supply needs, shoes. So we do one of those. And then a read, of course, some sort of book that they're interested in. For younger kids, we'll try and do like an educational toy. And then the wish, right, a birthday wish. So each box gets those 3 things at the start. And then the kids have 2 options. They can do a full birthday box, which comes with decorations, tablecloths, plates, napkins, fork, all the things you need to throw a birthday party, cake mix, icing. We do goodie bags in the boxes so the kids can pass out to their friends. Hopefully they have party guests that come out and each kid will get a goodie bag. And so that's the full box. And then some kids, typically are older teens, or some kids that are placed in situations that don't allow for a birthday celebration with all the full decor and everything, will do a simple box where they get a goodie bag for themselves. They get the need, the read, and the wish, but not the decor and stuff like that, because unfortunately they can't do that. Or maybe they're a teenager that's like, I'm a little bit too old to have, they're too cool for school and maybe don't want the like decorations, but still, of course, want the birthday wish.
And are you always able to reach out ahead of time, either directly to the child or to someone who tells you what kind of things that they want?
So we partner with 20 different agencies that are connected to child welfare or CPS care. Majority of them come through their child protective services caseworker directly, but some come from their CASA worker, or we partner with child placement agencies. So pretty much any agency, that's where we get the referrals. And we really ask them to do as much information as they can that's personalized to the kid. Tell us what their interests are. Are they an LGBTQ youth? And we want to make sure we are cognizant of that. What's their race or their culture? We want to make sure we're cognizant of that when we're putting a doll or a stuffed animal that maybe will match their race. And that's maybe one of the bigger challenges that we face, right? Caseworkers are super overworked. They don't get a lot of love for what they do, and they do really tough work. And so we'll go back a couple times to the caseworker. Do you have any other information on the youth, or how can we really make this special for the youth? Because we don't want to like assume an 8-year-old boy wants a football, right? Maybe he's not into football. Maybe he's into dinosaurs or gymnastics or whatever the case is. And so if they put age appropriate toy, we go back a couple times and ask them. And sometimes it's not possible, right? Because maybe the caseworker is new to the case, or they haven't been able to interview the youth and meet them. But majority of the time, they will give us some more information.
Yeah, that's great. And can you talk a little bit about how many children you've served and talk a little bit about the numbers?
Sure. The numbers can be quite staggering. Travis County alone probably has about 1,300 at any given time. Central Texas as a whole, the region that we serve, can have anywhere from like 5,000 to 6,000 kids connected to CPS care. So the need is out there for sure. We serve about 30 to 35 kids a week. That's how many boxes we are sending out, which is about 1,200 kids a year. But our goal this year is growth. When I came on, one of the big things the board wanted to do was like, how can we serve more kids? How can we get our reach out there? How can we educate caseworkers and agencies that work with youth connected to CPS care that we exist, that we're ready to serve the kids? And so hopefully that number will skyrocket this year as we get more referrals in. And a lot of it too is just logistics. Every week, 30 boxes go out. How do we get that number up? How do we get more kids sponsored? And when I say sponsored, a community member can buy the gifts for a kid. And what's one of the surprising things that I found when I started working here. I'm very data driven, and how can we, again, be more efficient? About 30 to 35% of the kids that we've served above the age of 5 have never celebrated a birthday, which is like heartbreaking.
Wait, say that statistic again.
30 to 35%. It's about 33 point something is when I was looking at
so
it.
1/3.
So about a third of the kids that we serve above the age of 5 have not celebrated a birthday before. And going back to our earlier conversation, it's like how devastating to wake up on your birthday and nothing happens, right? It's like all the anticipation. I'm turning a whole year older and nobody says anything. So we want that number to go down a lot. Hopefully we can be your first celebration, and let's celebrate you every year moving forward if you get referred to us through your caseworker. So
do you have reoccurring children?
we do have some that are reoccurring, which we like to see reoccurring ones. And, unfortunately, a kid can be in foster care or connected CPS care for years while they're waiting to be adopted or waiting to be reunified. And so we have started seeing some that are repeats, especially when we get caseworkers that are tenured caseworkers. They've worked with the kids for many years and they're like, oh, Papa Birthday does really cool birthday boxes for the kids. I'm going to keep submitting. And we've had some kids that are like waiting to get their birthday box now from us because they've gotten served before. It's nice that our community really steps up, and we haven't had to turn away a referral yet where we we
good. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the resources. People step up.
It's really about making sure that you have that reach. Is that right? And that recognition.
Think it's the reach and educating workers that we are here and we're ready to serve the kids. And how do we get the boxes to, because it all goes through the caseworker. So they have to take the time to either we go deliver to their office or they'll drive to us and pick up the boxes. So that's another logistical piece. How can we get all your boxes to you at one time for the month instead of you having to come down a few times a month? Let's do it all together and trying to get all that worked out so that we can serve more kids ultimately.
Yeah. Marcus, I know you joined in June, but what brought you to this cause?
It's funny. People have asked me that. I grew up in a small town in South Texas, and I moved to Central Texas to go to Texas State, and then started working in after-school care just to get through college. And then I moved into doing financial assistance for youth and families to get daycare after school. And it was a culture shock because in South Texas, there was no nonprofits. There was no volunteering, really. It wasn't like a thing that we did in our community. It was a very small town. So it was a whole new world to me. And getting to work with the families and seeing how difficult it was for them to make ends meet to afford daycare so that a single mom of 4 could go to work and put food on the table. And the way their faces would light up when I was able to say, we can do daycare for you at this reduced cost. It was like if I was giving them $1 million. It was just the way they would light up was so rewarding. And so one of my friends worked in the foster care space, and they were looking for someone to help with a holiday program, and they needed someone to run logistics for it. And so I went and worked there, and it just snowballed. I just stayed in that organization. It was a small organization with 2 people, and it grew to 5 different programs and had 15 staff, and really just was there to wrap around a youth. So they would do basic needs and mentoring and holiday gifts and really anything a kid would need, and families. So yeah.
And that was here in Central Texas?
It's here in Central Texas. It's called Partnerships for Children. We partner with them all the time too, because they actually run a resource center in the CPS office. It has all basic need items, clothing, diapers. But they stock it's called the Rainbow Room with our birthday boxes. So we'll do general birthday boxes that are not specific to any child. It has all the cake mix, the toys, the decorations.
And just maybe a generic gender and age group.
It just kind of says like girl 5 to 7. And so we put a ton of those in the Rainbow Room, and we deliver, or they come pick them up from us, so that if a kid is coming into care and their birthday is in a couple days, there's not a time for the caseworker to make a referral to us and us to turn the box around. They can grab from the Rainbow Room. Yeah, we're huge on collaboration and making sure that we do what we do well, and other nonprofits that serve youth that we serve do what they do well. And that's how can we work together to really wrap around the youth and get them everything they need.
Yeah, that's great. And then I am curious also, is there anything that's surprising, or one thing that's surprising that people wouldn't guess about the work you do?
Yeah, I think what's surprising is the amount of youth that are in need in Central Texas. It's always, as I've done this work, these are kids that are just in our backyards. You could be at HEB and there's a family there that has been touched by CPS, or a foster family that's struggling. It's not like they're out wearing a sign. It's just everyday people. These kids are like everybody else. They want to feel celebrated on their birthday. I think it's important for people to know they just want a birthday like everybody else, and don't need to feel like I don't ever want to feel like pity for the kids, right? Because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to celebrate their birthday and make them feel seen like everybody else. I think it's surprising sometimes when people are like, oh, they're just in school and they don't have some tragic story. It's not always a tragic story. Sometimes they're just trying to make ends meet. We see a lot of that in the families that we serve. Like traditionally people think CPS and they're like, oh, abuse and neglect, and these kids are being beaten or chained in their room. That's not, it's like
Usually not the case.
Usually not the case. It's like maybe 1% of cases is those extreme.
These
really
aren't all
sad
Ruby
stories.
Frankie. Have you ever heard of her? Did you hear
No,
about
who's
the
that?
eight passengers?
No.
Oh, the documentary is so terrible. Anyway, it's a Utah family. That was 8 passengers vlogger family that abused their children. Anyway, but that's not the common.
That's not the
common. They
comment.
said that it was the worst they'd ever seen for children, meaning like it's not common.
Right. Majority of the families that we're serving are trying to make ends meet. They are trying to do the best they can for their kid. And a lot of times it's, do we pay our light bill or do we buy a birthday gift for our kid? And they're going to pay the light bill because they cannot live without that. Yeah, that was surprising when I first started here. And I think it's surprising for people to know it's not always those extreme cases. A lot of times it's like we're just trying to make ends meet. And we live in Austin where it's pretty pricey, right? It's getting better. I feel like rent prices are going down, but
it is. But two things that have surprised me, just having all these guests on the show, is one, the statistics for children that go through the foster care system. They're less likely to graduate school, more likely to have a teen pregnancy. So all these outcomes that are what we would typically say are somewhat negative, and definitely more homelessness is more likely for someone to be through the foster care system. Each and every touch point, hopefully you can make a difference, right? There's a lot of, we talked about it, organizations here in Central Texas catering to children going through foster care or low-income children. But this is just one more, and just a special birthday for those children just makes a difference.
it really does. When I've heard stories of caseworkers coming back and telling us when they took the box of the kid, how they light up. And it, it seems simple, but I think it could really make a difference for a kid. Like, they face so much uncertainty all the time. I think about it like when COVID happened. I'm blessed and I never had to worry about this growing up. But when COVID happened, I feel like the whole world was in this place of uncertainty. What are we doing? What's going to go down? It felt like a little glimpse into what the kids that we serve go through all the time, right? They don't know when they're going to be reunified with mom and dad. Am I going to get to go back to the school I went to? So if we can take away that uncertainty of like, is someone going to see me on my birthday? That's a win for us. Hopefully it goes a long way for them.
Love it. Okay, so we've heard a lot about the programs, the impact. Are there any stories that you can share with us?
Yes, tons of stories. Like I said, we get the referrals from the caseworkers, and some put the age-appropriate toy, and some go way above and beyond on telling us the background of the kids, which can be heartbreaking. It's not like I said, the abuse or anything, but it's these kids that are really have a lot on their plate. One of the ones that happened recently, I think it was in the beginning of October, we had a 17-year-old girl who got referred to us for her birthday. She had never celebrated her birthday. How
do you hear that they have never celebrated their birthday? Does she tell the CPS worker or who?
It's one of the questions we ask on the referral form. Sometimes they'll put NA, they don't know. But when the caseworker's asking them oh, what do you like to do for your birthday? Or what do you want to celebrate with? What have you done in the past? We do that with all the kids, but there's something, a little extra love goes into the ones that haven't celebrated their birthday just because, yeah, it's pretty sad.
So the 17-year-old, she has never celebrated.
She had never celebrated her birthday, and she's been connected to CPS care for, it had been 6 to 8 months that they had their case. The mom had gone through some domestic violence issues, and so she was really trying to get her family into a safe space. There's 5 siblings in the house, including the 17-year-old, and the caseworkers put on the referral that the 17-year-old a lot of time will forego her birthday because she wants her younger siblings to have more. One of the things she wanted for her birthday was just to turn 18 and be able to take in her siblings so that they don't get separated from her family, which I'm like, that is... Most teenagers want an iPhone, right? Or something fun for their birthday, a new pair of shoes. This teen wants to turn 18 so that she can adopt her siblings and they not stay in the system or be separated, which unfortunately happens sometimes. The mom, unfortunately, had gone through some rough times and they were living in their car for that month. And so that can't be sustainable for very long. And if she wasn't able to get into a better space, the children were unfortunately going to have to be placed in foster homes and they could be separated. It was just one of the stories where it was oh, gosh, what can we do? So we asked the caseworker, how can we help more? We were able to get the youth. She wanted some new clothes because they didn't have a ton of clothes. So we got her some clothes. We got her a backpack. And one of the staff members at Pop-Up, she and her family wanted to sponsor the youth. She was like, let's do what we do for Pop-Up, but let's go above and beyond. She got all the siblings a little something so that they feel celebrated.
And who is this that did it?
Bree, who she's our program manager at Pop-Up. She's been there 3 years. She's our guru. I look to her for everything since I'm new. She knows how everything runs. And we have a birthday buddy program where you can sponsor youth and we'll send all the information out. And then you can buy them it's kind of like an angel tree for holidays, but for the birthdays. And so her family was like, you know what, we're going to sponsor this youth. And they went above and beyond and got stuff for the siblings because that was most important to the 17-year-old. She was like, let's get some stuff for the siblings too. So she feels they're taken care of. They get to enjoy the day as well. And I recently reached out to the caseworker in December and the mom was able to get some resources. They have a nice little 2-bedroom apartment now that they're all together. And so I'll try and continue to follow the story. But yeah, that was one of the more impactful stories where she said that the youth was thrilled, went and changed into the new pair of jeans that she got for her birthday right away. And yeah, it was a moment where you felt like the weight lift off of her shoulders for just a second. Like she's still concerned and they're still connected to CPS care and getting better. But that fear always exists if you're in this situation of what will happen if we get separated.
And that 17-year-old is still a kiddo. So I'm so happy y'all were able to celebrate
Still
her.
a kid.
Shout out to Bree.
Shout out to
family.
Bree. Yeah. It was really awesome and impactful. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but nice that we could provide a little sense of joy for her for a little bit.
Love it. I do want to ask you about a good brag. And so we have this little segment in our show where I ask you to share something that you are proud of that you've done recently. Is there something that you can share with us, Marcus?
Sure. I don't know. Capricorns don't like to brag.
That's why I'm forcing it.
Yes. One thing I did for December that was fun. Like I said, I worked with that holiday program. I started with them and I worked there for 12 years. It was like my little baby. It was my favorite program every year because Christmas and giving gifts.
Sorry, what program is this?
It's called Holiday Wishes. So it's
Okay.
with Partnerships for Children. And every year they collect wishes from caseworkers that are specific to the children, similar to what we do at Pop-Up, but specific to Christmas. And so this will be my first year in 14 years that I didn't get to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back and volunteer. They served 8,000 kids this year. I went to go drive a couple U-Hauls for them because they have gifts coming in from all parts of the city. So they have hubs. And I went and drove the U-Haul a couple days and then went and wrapped gifts for a few days. Yeah, it was fun. It was nice to be there as a volunteer. And if someone else is running the show, I just get to come and like give back and
Not all the anxiety.
not all the anxiety of like, how are we going to serve 8,000 kids and make sure it all runs smoothly, and which they killed it and every kid got what they wanted and got served. But yeah, it was fun to go as a volunteer this year and just kind of hang out. I took my brother with me and his boyfriend and we wrapped gifts and shopped for some kid. They have inventory there and you get to get a card that a kid has been sponsored and then go shop through their inventory. So it's like shopping for free, which is fun. And you're putting it into a bag that's going to go to a kid. So yeah, it was just a good, fun time. But I don't know. I hate to brag because it's like, we're just helping out other kids.
It's
so,
great
yeah.
because, of course, the reason I ask our guests to do this is because we have social media. We have even friends at dinners where everyone talks about even, it could be anything from my child's a straight A student. It could be, and you're not maybe trying to come off as bragging, but the point is, or it could be your remodel of your house or whatever it may be. And maybe people aren't even trying to brag. Maybe they're just talking about it, but trying to also encourage people to talk about the good they're doing so that it motivates other people to go and do some good.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. A good brag.
A good brag.
I'm going to start that. I'm going to take it and run with it at Pop-Up.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll put it on our staff meetings. Let's do a good brag and go around the table. And
Not everyone gets it. I'm not always best at explaining it, but the whole goal is for people to talk more about the good that they're doing because I don't hear about it enough. And so I wanted to create the segment. And now that you have shared such a great good brag, Marcus, I want to switch gears and talk about how listeners can earn good bragging rights and show up for Pop-Up Birthday.
okay, I love that. Yeah, there are plenty ways to get some bragging rights at Pop-Up Birthday. So we have like you can donate your time. We have a ton of volunteers. We are like a small but mighty staff. There's 3 of us on staff because we're trying to serve more kids, but it is impossible to do what we do without the help of our volunteers. So because we want every box to be super nice and joyful and celebratory, we have volunteers and we can tailor volunteers to any age. So like if you're 5 years old, we'll find something for you to do. If you're 65 years old, we'll find something for you to do. It could be any in that range.
So if you have a family with children that are elementary or up, this might be a good opportunity to not just show up during the holidays for gifts, but all year round.
All year round. Because, yeah, everyone wants to get back in the holidays, which is great. We need that for sure. But like right now, January, we've seen a little dip go on because, people are getting back in the swing of things. After the holidays, everyone's a little exhausted, right? Wants to like regroup a little bit. But
And I feel them. I feel the same way.
yeah. I totally get it. It's a lot of travel and a lot of family and all the good stuff. But birthdays don't stop. January 1st hit and we have our 30 boxes that had to go out that week. But we've seen a little dip in volunteers. So yeah, families can come out. You can come out and help us wrap gifts. We have shifts Monday through Thursday, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, where we just have wrappers going on all day long. Every single gift that we put in the box gets wrapped. We want to make sure when the kid opens the box, it looks super celebratory and they're excited. The box actually itself is a blank white box when we buy it. And we have volunteers in the community decorate the boxes for us. So if like you're super artsy and even if you're not, we have stickers that you could just put on the box around. And that's super fun for kids. I went to a elementary school recently and spoke to a group of 3rd graders in their art class and told them about what we do and dropped off a bunch of boxes. And a few weeks later, they brought them to me, and your skill set doesn't have to be super high. As long as you're like wanting to get back and make it fun for the kids, that's what it is. And then we have corporate groups that we do where we go out to the group. They can put together goodie bags for us at their office. They can decorate boxes for us at their office. So we have a birthday buddy program. I've mentioned it a little bit, where Bree's family took on the 17-year-old, but that is for the community. We have on our website, you can sign up to be a birthday buddy. We'll send you the kids' information, what age they're turning, what their interests are, and you can go out and shop for that with your family. It's like families, they'll have a 5-year-old and they'll take can we get a 5-year-old to sponsor? And they'll go out and shop for the youth, and kind of just a way to teach youth to give back. And it's fun shopping, and they can bring all the items in, and they can even wrap the items there if they wanted to. So it's like full circle. They can decorate the box, go shopping for the kid, bring in the gifts to wrap, and then the gift goes out to their caseworkers. So lots of different ways to get involved. We have a lot of teens that will do our box decorating for us because they need hours for school. We are happy to sign off on those hours and get our boxes decorated.
And I always say there's no shame in getting your kids to volunteer to get some recognition for it, like hours, like in JHS, like National Junior Honor Society or YMSL or NCL or your college application. Because I've always said, and Courtney and I've talked about this, once you start showing that there's an incentive there, you just start realizing you love giving back.
It's so funny you said that. Like I said, a little bit back, I mean, now it's not so much of a culture shock. I've been doing this for 15 years, but it still surprised me when volunteers come in, and we're so grateful, right? Because we're like, we have 30 boxes to wrap this week and we only have 10 boxes wrapped and they have to go out in 2 days. How are we going to wrap everything else? So we're super grateful when we have volunteers and they come in, and more often than not, they are more grateful to us for allowing them to come in. And they're like, this just made my day. I wanted to give back and I didn't really know how. And it's cool to see how impacted they are from wrapping a few gifts versus the impact that we're just grateful that we were able to get the boxes out, and grateful for the extra helping hands. And they're just so grateful that they had the opportunity to come and do something. Yeah. Another surprising thing that it comes in the nonprofit world.
Absolutely. Love it. Giving your time. And then, of course, donations.
Donations are huge, right? I would say about 85 to 90% of our annual budget, which our annual budget is not very big. It's in the low 6 figures, but about close to 90%, between 85 and 90, depending on the year, goes directly back to the program. So all that goes directly back to the boxes, to the gifts, to the supplies, to the wrapping paper. We do goodie bags, so like all the little snacks, all that stuff that we have to purchase. If it doesn't get donated, is great. We always tell the community, if they're looking to support and maybe they don't want to go shopping, that's not their vibe, you can donate $100, and that will get a kid's box fully done. For a younger kid, we say for teenagers, which are a little bit more, like I said, they typically want the iPhones and the more expensive things. We do a lot of gift cards for those kids, but $150 is kind of the range. We say, like, if you donate $150, that would get a teenager their complete box. And so an easy way to make a birthday magic happen, and you can make a donation online. You can do the birthday buddy program and actually go shopping if you want to, or you could even do a drive in your community, right? Like a lot of kids that are trying to do their Eagle Scout project or their NHS hours, they'll collect items at their school, cake mix. Right now we're super low on wrapping paper, which it's always something, right? Like sometimes it's cake mix, sometimes it's toys. Right now we're on the last few rolls of our wrapping paper. So doing a collection of wrapping paper in your school or in your office or even in your neighborhood is an easy way to get a good brag and bring those in to us, and so we can keep on wrapping the next kid.
Those good bragging rights, and get to know your neighbors.
And get to know your neighbors, yeah. It's a community. Like, I was at the office before this, and we had the Zeta alumni chapter, a sorority that it was like 15 women that have come together from different parts of the country that were in their Zeta chapter at their school and now live in Austin, and they've come together and they were just chit-chatting away, having the best old time as they were filling goodie bags, and some were wrapping gifts. And yeah, it's a cool way to like be a part of the community and fill your day with something fun to do, and you're making a difference.
Yep, you can give back and you can get to know your neighbors. And we know that the loneliness epidemic was real, and especially with COVID. So get out there, get with the people you know in your community, and give back.
And if you're looking and maybe you don't have, the community yet, like this is a great way to like come in and wrap. The volunteers that come in and wrap daily, it's usually like retired people who are like looking to fill their days, and then they come in and they make best friends. Now a few of them have a mahjong night that they go to, that they met at Papa Birthday. They go play mahjong on Wednesday nights, and yeah, they just found some friends out of it. So
and I see that. I see on like Reddit, like the subreddit Austin, people are trying to find people. So go find people through nonprofits like Pop Up Birthday. And I just think that's really cool. And I was even talking to you earlier about how I have a high school son, and if you are like, do a mom son gift wrapping, like teach your son so he can be raised to like wrap the gifts Christmas Eve or for Hanukkah or for whatever it is. Because so many times you hear, oh, well, the guys or the boys don't really do that. Great opportunity to get to learn how to wrap a gift.
Yeah, everyone should know how to wrap a gift because who doesn't like giving a gift? And I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities for those boys to give gifts. They're getting older and growing up with their wives, their kids, and they shouldn't leave it all to their wife to do all that. So,
Totally agree. Okay, so last thing, top of mind, you have a gala coming up.
Yes, we're super excited.
And maybe not a gala, maybe.
It's our annual fundraising event, if you will, because each year is a different theme. And so we've had galas that are the traditional gala you would think more formal, but this year we're doing our Boot Scootin' Birthday Bash. It's a fun event to raise funds for the year, but we really just want people to come and have a good time, right? It's going to be at the Eder Hardin Alumni Center at the UT campus. It's going to be like cowboy western themed. We're going to have a mechanical bull. We're going to have a band playing some country line dancing music. There'll be, of course, some fun ways to give back, like a silent auction, so you can win some fun prizes.
February 20th.
Yeah, Friday, February 20th, 6 to 10.
Cowboy theme.
Get your hats on, get your boots on. I still don't even know what I'm going to wear yet. I don't own some cowboy boots, but this is going to be a good opportunity for me to get a pair.
Absolutely. Okay, February 20th. And it's themed so you can have fun, and tickets are on sale.
Tickets are on sale on our website, popupbirthday.org. There's sponsorships available. It's another great way to get some friends out and have a good night out. You can get a table for your friends and invite them. All come out, have a good time. And it's for a good cause.
Great. And one more thing, besides, of course, showing up to your annual fundraising event, Amplify Austin. Y'all are going to be posted on Amplify Austin. So if you don't give now, definitely show up for Amplify Austin and try to give then.
Yes, it's coming up. It's in March. Search this when you're on the Amplify page. It's a great way to give back to, and just a really cool thing that they do. I mean, I think they raise millions of dollars for the Austin community, and I love it because I feel like people that may not have learned about nonprofits or maybe new to Austin, if you have something that you like to give back to that pulls your heartstrings, you can go in there and just like search whatever you want, and all the nonprofits that work with that population will pop up for you. So really cool. Yes, check out Amplify Austin.
Yep. And it's amplifyatx.org and just that pop-up birthday.
Yeah.
And that is this year, March 4th through 5th.
There you go. March 4th through 5th. Yeah, I knew it was coming up soon. So we're excited.
All right. Marcus, this is a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about this. It's my first podcast, but really just wanted to thank you for amplifying the voices, getting more awareness for the nonprofits here in Austin, and giving people opportunity to get a good brag.
I love it. Again, show up for your community, show up for Pop-Up Birthday, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Marcus Cantu was an absolute delight. Pop-Up Birthday is one of those nonprofits that makes giving back feel genuinely fun and meaningful. If you want to show up, you can volunteer, shop, or donate. Head to popupbirthday.org to learn more. As Court pointed out, giving back sticks when it fits into your actual life. Do something that benefits you too. Make it social. Take someone with you. Take a kid. Take your spouse. Gift wrapping is a great example, especially if you've got kids who need practice actually wrapping gifts for someone else. I'm already thinking about how both my boys would learn a lot from doing that. Or round up the neighbors and turn it into a gift wrap drive. Giving back doesn't have to feel heavy, and Pop-Up Birthday creates a lot of opportunities for that. And don't forget their annual birthday bash on Friday, February 20th at the Eder Hardin Alumni Center. It's boot scootin' themed. So grab your tickets, your cowboy hat, and your boots. Corporate sponsorship opportunities are still available if you're looking to support in a bigger way. A big thank you, Nightlight Insurance, for sponsoring this show and your donation to Pop-Up Birthday. Thank you to Todd Thompson for editing and mixing, Ashlyn O'Neill for digital content management, and Corey McCain at Just Push Record Studios. And of course, Courtney Dickey. I couldn't do it without her. Next month, we'll be featuring Austin Community Foundation. Since 1977, they have partnered with donors, nonprofits, and community leaders to create lasting changes across Central Texas. They are a huge mobilizer of philanthropy here in our community. This one is worth a listen. I cannot wait. And remember, we are dropping episodes now, third Thursday of each month. So we hope to see you in February as we escape into a cause.